The idea of a mystery within an ever expanding network has always been fascinating, and the lengths people are willing to find them is incredible. So many dark and disturbing mysteries have existed long before the internet, and the aim of this series is to shed light into them, their search, and their stories, because we seem so close to uncovering the truth. A few months ago, I brought you through two of the most disturbing internet mysteries I could find. However, it was but a drop in the ocean of internet mysteries out there. Tonight, you and I are diving back in. This is the internet's deepest. On October 6, 2004, a post would pop up on the Japanese image board site 2 channel. There was a forum where anonymous users would discuss commercials that disturbed them as a child. You would get the occasional odd Japanese ads, but towards the bottom, one comment had a more interesting recollection. It reads, "There was a super scary commercial that has stayed in my memory for a long time. There were two white humanoid figures on top of a black background, and they kept making a clunking noise. If I recall correctly, it said that on Earth, one person dies every 2 seconds. When the sound repeated for a second time, one of them disappeared. The next moment, the figure was back in its original position, and this time, the other one disappeared. The commercial repeated itself over and over. This comment itself would light the search for an ad long forgotten. At first, it was believed to be an educational video, but that idea would be immediately shut down by the OP, stating that he would remember the ad playing during late nights. He would create this sketch to show what he believed the humanoid figures look like. It was only then that the first recreation video took shape. I mean, after all the descriptions given by the OP, this seemed exactly what the ad would have looked like. From this point forward, this ad would be referred to as Hitogata, which simply translates to humanoid. Over the years, multiple recreations were made with all differing backgrounds and narrations, as there would be a collision in ideas. And at this point, leads on this case would remain non existent. It's a piece of lost media that has never found its stride and is still debated to this day on its existence. The ongoing theory states that this ad doesn't exist. It was simply an amalgamation of different pieces of media that loosely resembles what was thought to be the real thing. It is believed that the OP and many people who recognize the ad have simply combined different footages in their head, and the result would be a piece of media that has never seen the light of day. On the evening of October 17, 2003, a couple had decided to stay the night near Bumblebee Road, Arizona. They were celebrating their 1 year anniversary, and so far, nothing is awry. They took a couple of photos, and decided it was getting too late and their night would come to an end. It's morning, and the lifeless bodies of the couple were found in the back of a Ford F 150, the same couple who had spent the night on Bumblebee Road, the same couple celebrating their 1 year anniversary. Needless to say, this scene is absolutely disturbing. The couple, 20-year-old Brandon Rambo and 19-year-old Lisa Guerreri, they were a perfect match, with seemingly no one wishing death upon them. In the morning of October 17, the couple set out to spend their anniversary in a popular camping spot in Bumblebee Road, Arizona. This was an attempt to recreate the romantic stargazing of their first date. It was unclear what exactly was on their minds, but I'm sure that the couple wouldn't have expected that they wouldn't be making it out of this trip alive. Once they arrived at their destination, we can only speculate on what has happened that night. They would meet their end by what we can only speculate as an armed individual who snuck past them and took their lives. In the crime scene, we were left with a disposable camera, three significant photographs, and the lifeless bodies of the couple in their sleeping bags, with gunshot wounds to both their heads and bodies. That's it. No substantial evidence of the intruder. These images show the couple on the back of their pickup truck, with Lisa showing a more enthusiastic reaction. It's unclear whether these were taken by the killer or by themselves, unaware what was lurking in the dark behind them. With one photo showing what looks like someone trying to sneak a photo through a doorway. Either way, even with all the evidence collected, the search for answers remains grim. Today, this case remains a mystery, and most frustratingly, the fact that in over 2 decades, leads on the killer have remained non existent. Whether these photos have any correlation to these murders, or even play any significant role, will remain a mystery. If there was truly someone there hiding in the darkness behind them, waiting to prey on unsuspecting victims, will remain unknown for now. On May 4th, 1982, a woman named Maura Murray was born in Hanson, Massachusetts. She was regarded as a bright kid, and throughout her life, she was seen as a perfect child. Maura excelled academically and athletically. She was an accomplished runner and participated in track and field during high school. After high school, Maura attended West Point Military School for 2 years before transferring to the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Needless to say, she had a life that a lot of people would ask for. She had a long relationship where she was planning to marry, and a loving family who believed she was perfect. But amidst her qualities lay the criminal activity linked to Maura. During her course in West Point, she was expelled for stealing $5 worth of makeup. Later on, she was busted for credit card fraud. She was caught using a card that she did not own. And her last run in with the law, Maura had crashed her father's car on a guardrail, seemingly under the influence. This side of Maura had not been prevalent to her family, and I hate to paint her as a villain, but these criminal activities may consequently have a big effect on the story later on. On February 8th, a day after her accident, Maura had emailed her teachers that she would no longer be attending class that week because of a death in the family. She cleaned her dorm, packed her stuff, and drove off. She would no longer be coming to class again, and her story about a loss in the family had been made up. On February 9th, she had crashed her car on a snowbank. A bus driver had come to help, but Maura had refused. This interaction would mark the last time she would be seen again. Despite the endless searches of the woods nearby, there was not a single trace of her, and she would never be found to this day. Her father would speculate that Maura had been kidnapped by a dirtbag. It's hard to say what happened to her for obvious reasons, and any clues on this case would remain absent. But on the 8th anniversary of her disappearance, a video would be posted on the channel, Mr. 112 Dirtbag. It's an odd username to say the least, but it's odd. Maura had gone missing on Road 112, and her father would often mention a dirtbag. Um, it has to be a coincidence. This is what's shown in the video. I know I've built this up to be some big clue, but this man in the video is actually Jeffrey Alden Olsen, and it's widely believed that he is not involved in this case at all, but simply seeked attention. But the note from this video, it's a very probable theory that Maura had been taken. It's also possible that she had gone on her own terms, but any concrete evidence has remained a mystery, at least to this day. Tonight, you and I dove into three of the darkest mysteries I could find on the internet. It's obvious that there's a myriad of deep and disturbing mysteries like these, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know this video took a while to come out, but I had to deal with multiple things in my life, and now I'm sure that I'll have a steady upload schedule. If you have any video suggestions, I recommend you send me an email on joltsvideosuggestions@gmail.com. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Good night.